Today is Friday, March 15th, and I'm wondering if we could just catch up to a whole bunch of stories that appeared in this week's sports pages.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Are all financial advisors fiduciaries? Fewer than you think. Not knowing could reduce your lifestyle. Hi, I'm Mitch Kramer, founder and CEO of Fluent Financial. A fiduciary is a regulatory term to reduce conflicts of interest in wealth management. A fiduciary always works in your best interest. A non-fiduciary advisor might put their compensation or company ahead of yours. At Fluent Financial, we are certified financial planners acting as fiduciary advisors. To learn more, go to fluentfinancial.com or Fluent Financial's YouTube channel.
Introducing Star Power Smart Home Solutions, where cutting-edge technology meets effortless living. Control your entire home with just a tap on your smartphone. Adjust the lights, set the temperature, ensure your home is totally secure, all from the palm of your hand. Experience the ultimate solution in comfort and security for your family. Start by going to the website, GetStarPower.com. That's GetStarPower.com. When we previewed Cowboy free agency, we talked of the fact that they wouldn't be very active in the big contracts, and that the possibility existed that the Cowboys, as they've done with their coaching staff, would be giving a lot of one-year contracts. Well, their best signing, the linebacker Eric Kendricks, is a one-year signing. He fills a huge need right in the middle of Mike Zimmer's 4-3 defense. He'll call the signals on this team. That allows Damone Clark, to shuffle to the outside linebacker spot, where he ought to be pretty good in a 4-3. And they gave cornerback Jordan Lewis a one-year contract to come back. Now, they were always going to give special teamer C.J. Goodwin a one-year contract, but there was one other massive move. In restructuring Zach Martin's contract to create room this year, it gave the Cowboys the right to make him a post-June 1st cut next year, in effect, putting Martin on a one-year contract. And quite honestly, I would expect the Cowboys to keep giving one-year contracts. But the signings of the linebacker and the cornerback Lewis really fill Cowboy needs. Next, the Rangers are faced with the possibility of two all-star infielders not being ready for opening day because of injuries. Shortstop Corey Seager, he's touch and go. But first baseman Nathaniel Lowe with his oblique problem, he won't be there for opening day. But there's one major offensive story out of the Rangers spring training. And that's the kid Wyatt Langford. Their first-round draft choice last year is just tearing up Arizona. And it appears Langford may be about to force his way into the major leagues as a designated hitter for the club, allowing Justin Foscue or Jared Walsh or somebody to play first base in Lowe's absence. Now, Langford's an outfielder, but right now it doesn't appear he's a very good defensive outfielder. So DH would be a terrific place to break him into the major leagues. Next, a week ago the Mavericks looked like they were wandering, but now I know the opposition hasn't been all that good lately. But the Mavs seem to be finding a rhythm, and they seem to have found a rotation of players. Now, Dante Exum and Derek Jones, who are off-season cheap signings, along with the two trade acquisitions, P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford, seem to have now all moved into the rotation for this club. Who's moved out? That's what's odd. When the year began, the Mavs started with Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic at the guards, ably backed up by Tim Hardaway, by free agent signee Seth Curry and by young Jaden Hardy? Well, none of those three are currently major rotation members. Hardaway can't throw a beach ball in the Atlantic Ocean if water was lapping up to his feet right now. He's a terrible shooter these days. And Hardy, he's just a wild man. When he gets in the game, it's like he's playing one-man basketball. And Curry, well, he's gone. So Jason Kidd's tinkered a lot, but maybe he's found the right rotation. And this rotation appears to be playing better defense. Next, the Cowboys in the draft. The Cowboys have the 24th pick in the first round, the 56th pick in the second round, and the 87th pick in the third round. Then the Cowboys will wait 86 more picks before their next selection at the very end of the fifth round. Then they'll wait 43 more picks before their next selection at the very end of the sixth round. What this means for the Cowboys, who have a lot of holes still, though free agency might still solve some of those problems, what it means for the Cowboys is they will, at present, get only 4 of the top 215 players available in this draft. Hard to plug a lot of holes when you have that few a number of picks. Next, Jack Leiter. Jack Leiter was going to be a superstar when the Rangers drafted him out of Vanderbilt. They took him with the number 2 pick in the draft. Overall, number 2 pick in the entire draft. And Jack Leiter was gonna be their ace moving forward. Well, after 2 years, Jack Leiter's minor league ERA in AA is 5.37. He's 5 wins and 16 losses. Twice the Rangers shut him down last year so he could work on his mechanics. And one thing in the last week or so bothered me. Evan Grant, who is a terrific baseball writer, covers the Rangers. He was a guest earlier this week, looking at the Rangers season ahead. Between the lines of an Evan Grant article, it was suggested that the Rangers are keeping Jack Leiter in Major League camp for now. They optioned out all their other pitching prospects, Cole Winn, Owen White, Zach Kent. They're keeping Leiter in camp to help build up his confidence. I don't know about you, but that bothers me. The Rangers feel they need to build up the confidence of a player who just a couple of years ago was the number 2 pick in the entire draft. Wow. And finally, I'm mad at my late mom and dad. They should have forced me to play more golf. This golf is a hell of a job, let me tell you. Do you read the tiny print in the paper that shows you the results of a golf tournament? I know, I'm a sports nerd. I actually stop and do read that stuff for a second. And the Live Tour, that's the tour backed by that ocean of Saudi Arabia money that's broken away from the PGA Tour. The Live Tour is paying a lot of money. You know, let me tell you, the Live Tour field is only 54 players, and it's not very deep in good players. And the players at the bottom of that 54, man, I'm telling you, you'd hardly recognize those people as professional golfers. Like last week's Live Tour tournament in Hong Kong. They had 54 players in the tournament. Abraham Answer won the tournament in a playoff. Finishing dead last in the field of 54, last all by himself, was a golfer from Zimbabwe named Kieran Vincent. Answer shot 13 under to win the tournament. Kieran Vincent shot 9 over to finish last. In 54 holes, he lost 22 strokes to the winner of the tournament. But all that pales with this realization. For finishing dead last, and he could have been 10 more over par, Kieran Vincent won $50,000 in prize money. You know what? I could have finished last in that tournament very easily and collected the $50K. And by the way, finishing just ahead of Kieran Vincent in the standings, Phil Mickelson, who was 8 over par. You know what? My mom and dad should have forced me to go to that Dunkirk Country Club more when I was a kid.
Today's episode brought to you by Fluent Financial, Retire Sooner, Better Lifestyle, and by Star Power, Love Where You Live.
Just Wondering is a production of DSP Media for FanStream Sports. You can find Norm's show along with other great programming at fanstreamsports.com.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed it, hit follow. And every weekday, a fresh new episode of Just Wondering will be delivered right to you. And if you enjoy this podcast, please share it with a friend. Finally, should you have questions or comments, please share them with us by going to X and our address at Norm's Clubhouse. That's Just Wondering with Norm Hitzges. And every day, I'll be just wondering about something.